What's up guys, and welcome back to TechPlant. Today I'm going to tell you about the CHONK Conspiracy, or at least my opinion of it. So what exactly is a chonk? Well, it's a slang term for a chunk of nodes, or one node, two nodes, sometimes three or more. So for the past year or two, I've been seeing in these buy, sell, trade plant groups, people selling chonks. And what they're kind of selling you is a gamble for a rare plant. So usually say a rare Atreum or a rare philodendron. If you buy this chonk, which is basically just nodes, no roots, no really anything else, you might have a chance of sprouting growth and then therefore getting a more rare plant at a discount. But in the end, it's still a gamble. Now, I have some theories and opinions based around that, but I did reach out to an ex-chonk seller, and so let's hear what he has to say about it.
Being a chonk dealer is really exhilarating. I could spend $200, $300 on an import. As soon as it arrives, I rip off the chonks, turn around, resell, make my money back, and then some. Our whole goal as chonk sellers is to make you think you're going to get a really cool plant at a discount, but in reality, you've got a 50-50 chance. What most chonk buyers don't know is they could just import the plant fresh and alive with a bonus chunk for the same price that we sell them the chonk for. It's truly criminal. Sometimes I would even just box up wood chips and send it off to the buyer. Being a houseplant addict has really made me do some crazy things in my past, and I totally regret it. I was actually really surprised that TechPlant figured it all out. He knows exactly what's behind all the chonk.
Alright, after watching that, I hope you have a better idea of what exactly a chonk is and what they're doing. And how I kind of discovered this little conspiracy is after actually importing plants myself from equigenera.com. What I noticed upon opening up the package is all of my plants were just growing out of nodes. I was actually pretty surprised because I thought it would be like tissue culture or seed grown or something, but really they were just really thick, mature nodes. Here's my Atreum magnificum, and you can see quite clearly there's a really big chonk just sitting on the side of this thing. So what I think people are doing is they're importing plants, they'll cut off the healthy part of the plant that already has some like future nodes with roots coming out of it, and they'll turn around and resell that original node that already put out its growth. Now, there is a chance that this thing could put out another additional growth, but it is a gamble, and the thing has already used up quite a bit of energy just to produce the initial growth that you saw. Now, I'm not saying everybody does this because honestly this is just my theory, but a lot of these chonks that I see on these Facebook buy sell trade groups are very old. They're very mature and they're very thick, and I highly doubt a lot of these people have like a 3 or 4 or 5 year old Atreum or philodendron, especially at the amount of numbers of chonks that I've seen for sale. I think a lot of these people are just importing plants, selling the chonks. They basically recoup all the money they spent on the import and then some, and then they kind of rinse and repeat, while other people are kind of getting stuck with that dream of getting a rare plant for a discount. With all the hype in the plant world, it's really easy to get carried away and see these amazing plants that you really want but just can't afford. So then people end up taking these gambles on these chonks, and I just feel so bad because I know at least half of them are getting nothing but a rotting piece of wood in return. So I have a little advice for anybody thinking about buying chonks and kind of what to look for and then what your options are. So first off, let's talk about buying a chonk and what to look for when you're trying to find a healthy one. So number one, you're going to want to look for a chonk that has some healthy roots on it. I mean, if it's got some healthy roots on it, it at least has some way of like pulling in some nutrients, pulling in some water, and it's already off to a decent start. The second thing you should look for is green. An actual plant green, like chlorophyll green, not algae and mold green like some of my chonks have. And then third, your best bet is to find a chonk with actual new green growth, like a new like node growth coming out of it. That is a very good chance of survival, and with those three things, I think it might be worth getting that chonk at a discount. However, if it doesn't have those, you're probably just going to get a dying piece of wood, honestly. It doesn't have enough energy to produce a whole new growth, and it's just going to rot away in your prop bin. Now, my second proposal is import plants yourself. Equigenera.com is some pretty darn good affordable prices, and they are legitimate, and you don't have to worry about getting scammed. And the best part is you'll get your nice plant and a chonk for the same amount of money. Now, don't become a chonk dealer, okay? Try and grow that yourself and get a second plant. That's what I'm going to try and do. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is kind of a little long and talky, but I just want to get out there what the heck these chonks are, and I want to kind of explain it to some people so that way they're not getting burned on a 50-50 gamble. If you guys have the money for a chonk, seriously look into kind of getting them from outside sources that are much cheaper. Or, my favorite, just trading for plants. I've made a lot of trades with cool people. It takes a little more time, but if you make good friends to these Facebook groups, which is possible, I have quite a few friends now that I've met online. I've never met them in real life, and we've made some awesome trades with each other. So that's another great way of getting rare plants without forking out a ton of money or gambling.
As always guys, may your plants grow strong and healthy. I'll see you next time.